Shalom, everyone, and welcome to this week's Israel update and the update on the war. Again, first off, I'm Joseph Good. I'm with Hatikva Ministries and I have a long time relationship with GLC. Also another one that if you have been with GLC in the past, you would know the name Gila Trepch. Gila is uh, lives in Jerusalem, and she has been a guide for years and years. She's guided my groups. She's also worked with us with the Army. Okay, in fact, she has been one of the main individuals, if not the main individual, on coordinating everything that we do. And with from the Barak Brigade, the Brigade 188, Armored Brigade, we have Roy Shaposhnik, who's the head of the Barak Brigade Association. And so we're going to tell you what's going on. We're coming up on Passover, so things tend to intensify around this time of year. So, Gila and Roy, what have we got today?
Shalom, everybody.
Okay, Roy, 1 second before you start. Joe, you may want to tell the viewers what kind of funny jacket you're wearing.
What kind of funny jacket?
I'm not sure they all know.
Well, this is the Barak Brigade jacket, and this was given to me by the brigade several years ago. It's a prized possession. I have about 8 or 9 different Barak.
Corey, do you mind zooming in on the
This is the
insignia on the
Barak
patch?
right here, and this is the elite 188th Brigade, and they have had amazing things, an amazing history, going back years and years and years, but they are very involved in what's happening right now, and some of the key things that have happened in the war with Hamas have been a direct result of the warriors of this particular brigade. And it's an honor to know the people and to work with them.
Well, shalom, everybody. It's good to see you again.
Okay, Roy, we didn't have we weren't able to get together last week. And so catch us up. What's been happening?
So things is being busy in Gaza as always, as it's been in the last year and a half. We are officially sitting inside of the south part of Rafah. Actually, if you remember, we did spoke about we are deploying another corridor that will be north to the Philadelphia corridor. Our brigade, with all the battalions, are actually right now monitoring and securing the area of north to Rafah. We are creating a kind of a pressure on Hamas, specifically in certain areas that we have intel about the possibility of having hostages over there.
Mm-hmm.
Beside of that, up on the north of Gaza, we are doing a lot of activity on the so-called humanitarian camps that we know for sure that there is some terrorist activity over there. Fuel, food, and other humanitarian elements are running out from Hamas. We are witnessing for a lot of the citizens that are starting with certain riots inside of Gaza, which is a good symbol all of a sudden because the people in Gaza are finally acknowledging that the problem is not Israel, the problem is Hamas.
Yes.
So all of a sudden they are starting to be more active in their fights against Hamas.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
What it seems is that the humanitarian aid was being used by Hamas to control the population. They had to
Correct.
support Hamas in order to be able to get the aid.
Correct.
And now
And
Hamas can get the humanitarian aid, and the people are saying, "You're our problem."
correct. And today in the morning, the IDF officially published that they will allow to enter humanitarian aid to families, tribes that will not be related to Hamas. And that, I think, is the first time since October 7 that Israel is starting to address non-Hamas activity or non-Hamas groups and supporting them. And I think this is a game changer when you come and you think about it. We
Yeah.
are not going to support our enemies anymore. And I think we're going to see results in the very near future.
Right, right. I
And
think that it was published in the news. I mean, from the media, that Hamas made like $23 billion on the food that they took over all the humanitarian aid, and then they sold it and
Yep,
at
true,
inflated prices to
true.
the people of Gaza.
And by the way, we
It
saw
made
it.
tons of money.
Just to strengthen what Gila said, when Hamas tried to recruit their own terrorist fighters or people, I will not even call them as fighters, he used the fact that he will support those people, families, by giving them more humanitarian aid. So he's using the food
right
and the help that the citizen is getting in order to gain more terrorist activity. Insane.
now, let me ask also, with some of the citizens that are not supporters of Hamas, if this, I'm sure that this will lead to some possible information on location of hostages and
Absolutely.
along those lines that people were afraid to say anything before.
Absolutely, Joe. This is very correct. Adding to
Yeah.
that, you can also witness to a lot of chirurgic attacks that Israel is doing on specific military and not military terrorist targets of Hamas,
Yes.
which
Right.
is a great witness to the fact that we have improved our way of getting intel and more knowledge than we had before.
Right.
So yes, I agree with what you just said.
Well,
And it's being done very slowly this time.
Yeah.
No,
And with
nobody
less
takes
media
chances.
coverage. And with
And
less
God-
media coverage.
God
Right.
willing, with God's help, there were no injuries.
yes.
So this is amazing and super important. Yeah.
True.
Now, with Passover being this coming weekend,
Yes.
with a lot of soldiers down in their units, a lot of families without their husbands and their sons and brothers down there. What kind of impact does this have on the country, and how will these soldiers be able to observe as much as possible?
Gila, do you want to start?
Oh, listen. One of the big strengths of the Israeli of Israel is how strong the civilian population here is.
Yes.
People are supporting the soldiers.
I can do a thumbs up to that. I've seen it, and I know.
Yeah, people are supporting the soldiers. People are grinding their teeth. They're complaining, but nothing major. It's not like wives calling their husband and say, "Come on, enough, come home. Come on, enough, come home. The kids need you," and so on. It's very tough. It's tough on everybody.
Right.
But still, they're supporting the military. They're supporting the reservists. And that's one of the things that makes it all possible.
So I agree with Gila. We all need to remember we have about 200,000 reserve soldiers that has been called for the fifth time since
Yes.
October 7 for a period of 60 to 90 days,
Yes.
including this holiday, which is not a simple holiday. I can tell you as a father, you have the kids at home for 3 weeks. So one can say, wow, that's a great timing to go to the army. But at the end of the day, the family is all alone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not simple, but we still see the strength of the people in Israel that are going into the reserve, doing their duties. No one is questioning the role. Nobody is questioning if it's needed. And I think this is one of the main things, this amazing spirit of our people. Am Israel Chai is definitely something that you can see by
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
doing how people are getting the message and saying, guys, off we go.
Yeah.
As
That's
for us,
I'm wearing that T-shirt.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm Mr. High. Yeah.
And
It's
as,
pretty
as for
amazing.
us, our brigade is going to do a Passover inside of Rafah. It's not simple, Joe.
Yes.
It's a second Passover. We need to remember that. And
Mm.
not only that, it's a second Passover when we will talk about
Yeah.
being free from the Egyptian, and we still have 59 hostages being
Yeah.
kidnapped away from their home. Second holiday. Whoever dreamed to
Yeah.
have
Mm.
something like that?
Yeah.
This is insane.
And Rafah, to give people a reference, is the southern port of Gaza. That's where the crossing is into Egypt. And so Passover is a time of celebrating the crossing from Egypt. Now it's another Egyptian crossing, but may it be
Correct.
filled with miracles.
Correct.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Now, that's Gaza. What's the next hot spot right now?
I think the hottest spot that we have as we speak is going back into Syria.
Okay.
So before we dive into Syria, I will just give you a quick overview. 10 days ago, there was another missiles attacked by 4 rockets fired from Lebanon straight to the north of Israel, landed on open area. However, Israel this time decided that they are going to respond with a very, very clear message. They released an evacuation alert to the citizen of Beirut, Lebanon, specifically at the Dahia. Dahia is the Hezbollah quarter in Lebanon. And after 2 hours, 2 airplanes demolished a building. I have to tell you, the side bombs or the side effect that came after the first bomb only shows you how much ammunition was on that building specific. It was insane to see it. Of course, the European Union immediately condemned that situation, but United States and all the reasonable people immediately said that Israel has the right to protect itself. So that's to cover Lebanon.
Well, before you go further,
Yes.
you made a statement that Israel gave an evacuation
Oh yes. Oh yes.
notice before the attack.
Yes.
Okay.
For
What
2
other
hours,
country in the world does this?
That's a good question. Not
Yeah.
only that, Israel is doing something that we call it knock on the door. It means that before we are
Knock
sending,
on roof. Knock on
yeah,
roof.
knock on the roof, knock on the door, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we are actually throwing the bomb itself, we are firing a small flare towards that building. So we are actually telling them
Oh my
this
goodness.
is where we are going to attack. I mean, you cannot be more friendly. I know it's going to weird. It sounds weird, but you cannot be more friendly than what you are doing right now.
Yeah.
There is
No
no
other nation in the
army.
world does this.
No one is
No,
doing that.
nobody
anymore.
does. Nobody does.
Yeah.
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 So that was in Lebanon, and I think Hezbollah even like their first comment was, "Why did you fire at us? We didn't fire at you." So the message was a clear message to the government of Lebanon. We don't really care who did it.
Who
This is your
fired?
responsibility. You need to gain control. You have the military, the Lebanon army that is in the south part of Lebanon. Gain control or you will be punished. So Israel did it very nice. And I have to tell you, I'm very proud of it.
Very
Very
good.
proud of it.
Very good.
So
Okay.
that covers Lebanon. But let's talk about the territory that right now it's becoming more and more busy. And that is the Syrian area. So we spoke about it quite a lot in our previous sessions. The Turkish are becoming more and more involved inside of Syria. They are trying to get control on ex-military camps, ex-Air Force runways and bases. And their main reason is they are trying to place their foot in Syria and to become a player in Syria. And that's mainly because Russia has withdrawn and left Syria all alone. And Turkey, specifically the president, see himself as the new savior of the Syrian people. Last week, there was a very strange activity in one of the Air Force bases of the military or the previous Syrian military. Israel attacked that area and destroyed a couple of trucks, radars, and in that situation, based on foreign intel, we have 4 dead Turkish soldiers. And I think that was a very important saying by the Israeli government to Turkey, stay away, it's not your territory, don't play over here, and please
Right. Big,
don't interrupt.
big clear message.
Yeah.
Very clear.
There needs to be a clear message because
Yeah.
because Turkey is part of NATO
Correct.
Right.
and
Right.
the United States is standing with Israel right now.
Correct.
And so if Turkey gets involved towards Israel, then that becomes a bigger problem than what people might realize.
I agree. And one more thing, just to add to that, there is a kind of negotiation. I don't think negotiation is even the right word. You know, they are talking among themselves how to split Syria. So Israel will get a certain part with all the Druze in the Golan Heights. But
Who's
guys,
talking? Who's
sorry?
talking about that? Who's
So-
talking about that?
Turkey is talking about it together with UAE, Saudi
Oh.
Arabic, and with the Syrian government.
Emirates. I see. I see.
Can I be rude and ask a question? Is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
okay to split Syria, but it's not okay to split Israel? I mean, why you have this hypocrisy? I don't understand it.
Yes.
I mean, all the world is shouting about Gaza. Nobody's talking about Syria.
Yes.
Weird. Yeah.
It's not it's weird, but it's also typical.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you mentioned about where the Druze villages are, and the Druze, they're not Arabs. They're different, a different people, And the Druze are found, you correct me if I'm wrong, but in Israel, Syria, and Lebanon.
Correct. In Lebanon, you have a minority. There are more Druze in Syria than in Lebanon.
Are there more Druze in Syria than in Israel?
It's a good
Oh, yeah.
question. Oh, yes. And remember, they are split. You can actually find families that half of them are in Israel and half
Yes.
of them are in Syria.
Right, right. And in the
Well,
past,
because you have to understand, Syrians, Druze cannot convert,
right,
so they can only marry other Druze.
right. By their
And
religion,
it's a
they
small,
cannot convert.
right, and it's a small minority. You know, altogether in the Middle East, there's 1 million of them.
Right,
So sometimes Druze from Israel would cross over to Syria. Sometimes the countries are less important than keeping the families.
Correct.
yeah, yeah. Now, the Druze communities that are right across from Israel, right across from the Golan Heights, they would like for that to be taken over by Israel.
Right.
And then they would have where the Israeli Druze, the Syrian Druze could be together. And
But more than that, Joe, Israel allowed the honorable Druze leaders from the Syrian side to enter Israel, to travel with, of course, an escort, but to go into their most religious
oh, yeah,
parts inside of Israel. That was a very, very good gesture by the
Big
Israelis.
event. Yeah. Big event.
the Horns of Hattin.
Horns of Hattin, exactly. Yeah.
Correct.
We've
And
seen the place. We've seen the
Yeah.
place many times. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that was actually very good, because Israel really, at the end of the day, trying to come to the world and to say, guys, we don't really want to have any kind of conflict with you. And the
Mm.
Druze, they identified that immediately. And remember, even though there was a border between Israel and Syria, with today technology, the Druze in Syria knows exactly how well developed the Druze in Israel are, and how well educated, and what kind of conditions they are receiving on a medical point of view, education, and more. And I think they want to have the same.
Yeah.
A
But
number,
there's another very important fact. Israel has regained its deterrence, and Israel has become once again a major military power in the Middle East.
right,
And
Absolutely.
people always like to go with the strong guy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I couldn't say it better.
many Druze
Mm.
have become very good Israeli officers in the Israeli army.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remind you all, our 53 Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Salman Khabka, rest in peace, a good friend of mine, um, lost his, got killed in Sajaya, in Gaza, on the 2nd of November 2023, one of the worst days of my life. And Salman, he was a Druze, but you know, every Friday he used to write down the weekly parasha.
Ah, yeah,
Druze writing down the weekly Jewish parasha in the Bible
right.
for his own soldiers.
For
Yeah.
those that would not know, the a parsha is going to be the portion of the Torah that is read each week.
Mm.
So it starts in Bereshit or Genesis and goes forward week by week through to the end of the book of Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
So yes, you're absolutely right. And there are plenty of Druze that are with us. They are our brothers. I love them. I think they're doing
Yeah.
a great job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They're
yeah,
very good in the military. Yeah.
Now, people are going to be asking about Bibi's trip over to the United States. He's here right now. He's meeting with President Trump. I don't want to put you on the spot, but so I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to give my impression here, and Gila can kind of talk back and forth with me. But I believe that while there are upfront reasons for him being here, what's being said, this is the reason. But the bottom line is preparations are being made to deal with Iran. And so, Gila, would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that everybody pretty much talks about it and knows it here.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's out in the open.
I would
Yes.
just say one sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Yes.
stand clock is ticking,
Yes. Yeah.
and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen faster than what we ever thought.
Okay, we're down to our last couple minutes. I did want to mention about that the United States has sent some defense batteries, missile batteries, and they're in action of being deployed right now. And if I understand, they will give another dimension to the Israeli defense.
Defense, right.
So
Okay.
you all know we have the Arrow, which is our upper layer of protection. The Americans are sending another Tahed launchers. It's going to be a very important add-on to our security layer, or let's call it to the atmosphere layer. And I think everybody knows why they are doing it, and we are prepared. We are ready for that.
Okay, we're down to our last minute here. I do want to encourage everyone to really pray about supporting the Army right now. It's the season of Passover. It's the time that God has done wonders and miracles and everything, but we need to stand with Israel right now. You can go to at the bottom, JerusalemTempleStudy.com/David Fund, or the little icon up in the corner, and every penny that you give goes directly to the needs of the Army. Okay, and so we send it over, and you got the last cent a few days ago.
We got it, and thank you for that. And please, I know you're doing your best. We really need it. We are grateful once again for every support that you are handing over to us. And I promise you one important thing. It all goes straight to the soldier at the end.
Shalom, everyone, and thank you. And
We love you.
Happy Passover.
Yeah, happy Passover. And happy Easter.
And happy Easter.
Yeah.